Davenport.
My question this morning is to the Minister of Advanced Education and Skills Development. Speaker, in yesterday's speech from the throne entitled "A Time for Care and Opportunity," the government laid out its priorities. And unsurprisingly, the work the government is doing in student financial assistance was proudly mentioned. Speaker, this government has transformed the way students access post-secondary education right here in Ontario by providing them with the financial support they need to complete their degrees and diplomas in an ever-changing economy. Can the Minister inform the House on what the government is doing to help post-secondary students afford the cost of higher education?
Thank you. Minister of Advanced Education and Skills Development.
Thank you, Speaker, and I want to thank the member from Davenport for this question and for her passion for education. Speaker, our government believes that attending college or university in this province should be based on a student's ability to learn and not on their ability to pay. And that is why, Speaker, we have completed the most ambitious transformation of student financial assistance in North America. Today, more than 225,000 students are getting their education without worrying about the cost of tuition, including almost 13,000 single moms. Speaker, with the new OSAP, eligible students, including mature students and adult learners, will receive enough in OSAP grants to cover average tuition costs. OSAP is unique to a student's circumstances. About 4 out of 5 students from families who earn under $90,000 will be eligible for free tuition.
Wow.
Mr. Speaker, helping Ontario students with their costs is part of Ontario's plan to keep post-secondary education.
When I say thank you, Minister, you sit. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker, and I'm glad this government is investing in Ontario's brightest by providing them with the financial assistance they need. Actually, last night, while knocking at doors in my riding of Davenport, I met a young fellow who had recently moved to Ontario from Alberta, since this is where his girlfriend was able to find employment. Unlike what the party opposite suggests, we are open for business and we are creating jobs here in Ontario. And he was very grateful, Mr. Speaker, to be back in school to upgrade his education thanks to OSAP. And we know that the number of Indigenous students receiving OSAP has increased by 34%. While this government is working towards making sure that everyone in this province be able to access education and training so that they can find good jobs and support their family, some students still worry about their debt. Can the minister address the concerns of those students and tell them what the government is doing to alleviate their debt?
Good question.
Minister.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you again to the member from Davenport for her question. And the member is absolutely right. As was said in our throne speech yesterday, at the core of the prosperity of this province is the skills and the talents of our people. And like the member has said, you know, when I speak to students like Manessa, a first-year journalist student from Sheridan College, who took 2 years off because she was saving up for school. Speaker, with the new OSAP, students no longer have to worry about the cost of tuition, preventing them from pursuing their dreams. Ontario students graduate with the third lowest average student debt because of Ontario's robust and progressive student assistance program. In 2014, we provided students with almost $1.3 billion in grants and loans, and 70% of it was money that students will not have to repay. It is also important to note that OSAP loans are interest-free while students are at school, and students have 6 months following graduation before repayment begins, and we're still making improvements to this great OSAP transformation, Mr. Speaker.